Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Tarnation TV production hosted on Flat Out Racing Network as well. Rolling Thunder Gaming rolls on. Season number 68. We have begun the playoffs. So there is 5 races left. 5 full races. We'll show you the points here in a second. You'll notice the top 18 guys all have 1,000 points. They kind of bump those top 18 playoff contenders up to 1,000 to kind of separate them from the rest of the drivers. And then we just continue to track points. And then it comes right down to the final lap of the final race. And whoever has the most will win the championship. So it's a super cool, awesome way of doing things. I was never a big fan of the knockout playoff stuff, so this is very, very interesting. Anyway, this evening in the booth, it's me, Blaine Donlin, and Mr. Jack Mitchell. Good evening, Mr. Mitchell.
Good evening, Blaine. It is good to be here once again. The rest of the boys, Seth and Kyle, are currently taking a well-deserved vacation right now, so it is good to fill in for the first race of the playoffs chase. I don't know exactly what the Talladega Challenge calls it, but should be really, really exciting to get this thing started. I mean, there are so many drivers that have fought and battled their way in. I think we only have one repeat winner all regular season, so tight battle going in. This should be really fun.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't go on vacation to Canada because it's on fire. Sorry about the smoke, eh? But Quebec and Ontario, the last couple of years, for some reason, I've lived here my whole life, the forest fires are madness. Yesterday it was orange. It like when you went outside, it looked like somebody forgot to white balance it. Like, that's how bad it was. It was weird. But yeah, anyway, we're rolling points right now. You'll see, you know, Joe DeSpirito in first, 1,044 points, and so on. Like I was saying before, it's a neat way to kind of reset the playoffs. And then right there, you'll see the gap from Palmer being 1,000 even. He's the last one to make it in. And then the points go back to normal, be below that. So 5 races is a lot of races. It's a really good chunk of time to get some stuff done. So it's going to be interesting to see here. It's not like a 1 or 2 race playoff. It's 5 full-blown 66 lap races. And these are always full. Again, we're full tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting as well, because you also have to consider is that the decision that was agreed upon by the majority of drivers is that the playoff drivers are actually going to be starting every one of these races from the back. They're not going to be taking times in qualifying, so they've all got to battle their way past a bunch of other drivers that are just looking to end the season on a high note and try to get a checkered flag in one of these last 5 races here before it's over. And you know, with how tight it is, there's only 44 points between 18th and 1st. So it's going to be a really, really tight battle. And the way that these races shape out is going to be really crucial when you think about what all these other drivers are going for as well.
And that's the great thing about Rolling Thunder Gaming is everything they do, all the rules, everything is voted on by the drivers. I've been in a few of those meetings. At the end of every season, there's usually a 2 or 3 week gap, and they kind of just go over everything that happened in the previous season, and then they vote on what mod are we going to run, what version of the track are we going to run, what setup, you know, like they have setups for the tracks and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, and then the playoff style, you know, that's another thing, because that's a big deal. You know, and then that's how we come up with this points tracking thing for the playoffs. So it's all voted on by the drivers. So it's a very, you know, this community is amazing already. And this league runs a very tight ship. And it's cool to see that all drivers, anybody who's ever raced here, your input counts. You know, if 100 guys show up, they'll tally the votes.
Well, that's stuff you'll love to see. Many really, really tight-knit community, and really looking forward to putting on a great show for us here in the playoffs. And yeah, you know, everybody likes to show up for these Talladega Challenge races as well, so it'll be really, really competitive in these last 5 races. Robert Breedlove going to start this one on the pole.
It's a different style of racing, a track that like this, and then the setup combined with the I&I inside the track as well. It's just the perfect combination, and it's unlike any other simulator. I mean, I always talk about it. This simulator is just amazing. This series is such a cool idea. Like, let's run Talladega because it's a little bit wider than Daytona. Daytona's fun, but this, I think, they're very, very different tracks, and it's a cool series to have an entire schedule dedicated to just this one place. And of course, again, big shout out to the anonymous donations. Whoever you may be, we never will find out. But there's their graphic on the screen there. We'll show that a few more times throughout the race this evening. But like you said before, Breedlove leads the pack through the tri-oval, and we're going green in race number 11.
That tri-oval, going to get ready to get the playoffs started. A lot of drivers going to be trying to keep those emotions in check as well. I mean, it's only race 1 of 5 of the playoffs, but the green flag is out.
You think about that too. 66 laps, 5 more races, and it's always a full house. And some of these guys are so consistent, but I mean, sometimes luck runs out, you know, and we've seen
already crashing.
Oh no. And we see the smoke there. They may re-rack them. Sometimes they'll do that on lap 1. They'll do a reset, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, it was about mid-pack. There was a decent amount of cars. Jeremy Jeffries is around. Handful of other names. Bobby Farrell, Brian Schilling has damage. Mark Paglia looks like he was caught up in it. Let's see, Sandoval, some... I can't tell if that's hood damage or part of his paint scheme, but he's got some... Might be some slight buckling on that hood.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we'll back her up here and see. Get a bit of camera angle will be a good start. Yeah, we'll see here. We'll focus on Kelly Causey and see what happens. Find the point of impact. Yeah, I saw the smoke, but I didn't see what it was. There we can see smoke there. Oh yeah, there's cars down the bottom on the apron. It might be Bobby Farrell in the 92.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Oh, it was Robert Spring drifted up out of his lane a little bit, got a hold of the 9-2. I mean, no spot's a good spot to crash, but there's lots of tarmac back there on this Talladega Super Speedway, so there's a lot of room for people to kind of avoid that as best as they can, of course.
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's not going to be perfect every time, but when you do have an incident like that, you would rather it happen while there's plenty of room and a lot of flat track surface as well to be able to avoid it. And that's a situation that a lot of drivers were able to find themselves in. I don't exactly get the sense they're going to re-rack them, even though they wrecked on the first lap. I think that they're staying lined up behind the pace car right now. So I think this race will continue as it is.
Yeah, sometimes I believe when they say it's a broadcast race, they will never do it. I don't have an issue with it. It's a quick reset. It's fine. But I get it. You know, it's one of those things where, yeah, we're treating this like it's a real deal, right? There's no reset button in NASCAR. There's a reset button in NASCAR race in 2003 season, but there's no reset in NASCAR. So, like, let's just do it. Live event, you got to deal with what happens. Looks like about a quarter of the field is pitting right there, and most of them near the back.
I was trying to make sure they get every single advantage possible when it comes to fuel.
That's the thing, yeah, 2.66 mile track. And you're thinking, well, we've only done 1 lap. Why bother? Well, they'll get another lap or 2 because under yellow, you're going to save a little bit of gas. These guys will have to pit. And then you can stay out of the, you know, sometimes there's a big mess of cars. So, you know, there's 20 cars trying to get down that pit lane. And you're like, well, I got a couple more laps left. I can keep on going.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, it's Talladega, so you're not really, with the way the pack racing is as well, I mean, as long as you stay attached to the lead pack, the only real loss you're going to have is in track position. But again, you're going to, with pack racing being a thing, I think you're more than likely going to find yourself still in contention for the checkered flag so long as you stay attached to the lead pack, as you're saying. So a lot of people will probably be more than happy to take that risk on only the second lap of the race.
Yeah. Take a look at that graphic again. Like I said, anonymous donor paid for the whole entire season, so, and dedicated the whole thing to the fallen member and the members of this league, and of course all the military vets. And that's all they wanted. No names, no association, nothing. Anonymous donor, and there it is. That's 2 years in a row now, because we did season number 67, same thing. So somebody out there likes what we do.
Yeah. Somebody out there is, whoever it may be, we don't really need to push to know who it is or anything like that.
No.
If they would like to remain anonymous, we will obviously respect the wishes, but yeah, we appreciate the support as always.
Yeah,
it's us broadcasting these races.
Will be funny, like, we need to know. Quick, deploy the spies. We need to find out.
Because sometimes some slight curiosity.
Sometimes people will ask, you know, they'll say, "Oh, can you just not mention it on the air?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool, no problem." But like, I literally have no idea who it is. I don't even know who would. But like I said, it doesn't matter. Thank you very much. Of course, thanks to the drivers for showing up. Thanks to RTG for bringing the Flat Out Racing Network and Tarnation TV together, and of course everybody who watches these things. Otherwise, we wouldn't bother doing it.
Absolutely. Light should be going out on the pace car, I think, this time by.
Yeah, they look dark there coming by on the turn 2 camera. Yeah, the turn 2 camera. Yeah, we've got some updates too in the software side of things. We'll talk about mods. Jonathan Claudel is his name on Facebook and Reddit. He has compiled his little widget overlay package that he's made for this, and it's being hosted on Dr. Noise Paints. So anybody in the community probably knows who Dr. Noise is. A phenomenal painter. Is hosting that download, so you can, if you're, especially if you're in the cockpit, I've seen this thing in action. You can have telemetry. You can click and drag your ticker around. There's a delta bar horizontal across the top of the screen, kind of like iRacing. The things this guy has done with this game, I have no idea what he's up to, but it is sorcery and it looks amazing. And of course, it's free. And he's getting ready to put out another update to it. He said just before the weekend, so they're going to add there's like a pit lane speed warning. Little graphic will pop up and tell you what it is, and then if you start speeding, it starts to beep. Just little stuff, just little cool stuff that you never thought would be possible. It makes it like a whole new experience. I do believe you have to run it windowed, but you know what? Who cares? I think I'm gonna dig into it this weekend too and see if I can utilize it in the broadcast. Because if I'm able to change the tickers, he's got ticker options. You want to go horizontal, vertical. You want to go, you know, anything. It's flabbergasted, to say the least, what this guy's done.
Yeah, this community is just insane. The word you use, sorcery, right there is basically exactly the perfect way to describe it. You just don't. It is still absolutely insane how this simulator has been going for as long as it has, and people are still finding new ways to do things with it.
Well, and even this ticker software was designed by a guy named Peter Dinkin, and it was a long time ago.
Oh, look out!
They're going four wide back there. Yeah, and they're around. Looks like Sullins is in it with Palmer.
Back in yellow.
These are playoff contenders too. Yellow flag is up, and my dog is scratching at the door because she wants to go out to the living room, apparently.
Plenty of, I say plenty, there's only been 2 because we're only 6 laps into this thing, but it is definitely a caution-frenzied race in the early going, to say the least. And as Blaine was just saying, a lot of playoff drivers involved in these early wrecks is definitely going to change the dynamic of this one early on. I mean, playoff drivers are not wanting to start the playoffs on this note.
No.
You want to try and compete for the championship or you want to try and start your competition for the title rather in the best way possible. And some of these guys are struggling with that in the early going.
Yeah, and they voted to start at the back, so it's like they've been caught in 2 of these now. We saw Palmer going around. We'll see from his vantage point if we can see what happened here. Once I figure out where it happened, we'll get a closer look at it. Oh, yeah, there's something right there with the 39. Might have just been a bad push coming out of the turn.
mean, they were 4 wide, so.
Yeah, I can't see if it was Josh or something in front of Josh. Oh, it's the 29. So something happened in front of Josh, and this is the checkup that probably leads to... Right, see, so he just went down there to get out of the way of what was impending doom, but nothing really happened. And it sort of caused the stack up back through. There's Jeffries. Yes, that's the thing. Only there's so many good avoidance, so much good avoidance right there. Good thing is, though, it doesn't look like any high impact collisions, though. A lot of tires are being used, obviously, with the sliding.
There's some more sliding going on pit road. I couldn't quite tell who, but I saw some drivers were sliding around on both pit road entry and exit. So, going to jumble up the field a little bit more. A handful of drivers, including the leader, actually went and took pit stops under this yellow.
Yeah, interesting way to start. Yeah, we'll take a look at those points again. Despirito, Novsker, Bertalik, Wesley, Paglia. Michael Norman's in there from Flat Out Racing. Robert Schilling, Hagley, Level, Sandoval, Jeffries, McClure, Carroll, Kazi, Sullen, Seminara, and Palmer. 18 drivers that got the extra 1,000 points headed into the playoffs. All playoff drivers were reset to 1,000, and I believe they plugged in. You can see like the difference in the numbers. Like, why is there 3 or 4 points between some of those guys? It's because it depends on wins. So you got bonus points for wins, and then that's why they're stacked up the way they are. So, very cool way to kind of put that together.
Yeah,
and
it
now,
is. They get going into this.
They voted to start the pack, and now they're all getting tangled in this.
Like Brian Lovell and who's that right behind him? My game does not want to tell me who's right behind Brian Lovell, but
was that Tim?
It's Tim Anderson. Yeah. Brian Schilling. They're all going to go pit. I think Brian Lovell was just stand out to get a bonus point for an extra lap led.
Yeah, like we had just watched on that. There's a bunch of people tied. So every point you can grab, even though if it is only one. We're talking about thousands of points, but like, you know, that one can be the difference sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know how it's going to shake out. Every single decision on the racetrack matters, and
oh, I wonder. I might have just seen something. Did he enter a closed track? The 44 right there. You can see the stop sign up. Oh, he changed it right at the last second.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, you'll see it on the replay in slow motion. The official changes it to green just as Lovell leaves the pits. If he entered a closed track, that would have been a penalty. That'd have been something else.
Yeah, that is about as unfortunate timing as it would get. I mean,
you know what? Why not, right? We've already had 2 weird yellows. It's only lap 8. You might as well get penalized for entering a closed track.
Entering a closed track where the guy on pit road literally changes the sign at the last moment.
Yeah. And I wonder the actual timing on that penalty is. Like, the animation started, so he's probably fine. But that's all kind of like nitty-gritty game stuff. Like, okay, when does it actually allow you to go? The animation started, but it still says stop. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out if Denny... So far, so good on GNL TV behind the scenes here. He has not been shown a black flag, not yet anyway. Or not Denny. The 44, not the 41. Brian.
Well, John Godfrey is going to be in the lead on this restart. I noticed Michael Norman, who is 6th in the point standings, is going to be restarting from P4. Trying to tell if anybody else up here is also in this playoff battle.
Jeffrey Elliott on the front row. Always awesome to see Jeffrey out here. They're having some health issues, but NASCAR comes first.
Good to see him out here.
It was also good to see Tom Dixon. We've seen Tom Dixon pop in to practice the last few weeks. He tends not to start he actually started the race the last couple of weeks too, but you have to qualify to get in if you're below the 30th in standings. But it's awesome to see Tom out there.
Back underway. Kelly Causey currently 16th. I was trying to figure out if any of these other guys are in the playoff conversation. And indeed, that is the case. The double zero, just 2 points above the position. So Causey's going to want to try and capitalize on this momentum, as is Michael Norman, who's up here as well.
See, we talk about the guys voting to start at the back, but then there's a bunch of them that are at the front. You know, unfortunately, guys like Rodney Sellens, they got caught up in that stuff back there, but a few of them found their way through it.
And I'm sure there are a couple here that are also in the mix. Yeah, I see Joe DeSpirito's up here near the front as well. So is Tim Nofsker.
It's crazy how they can get through this. Like, I was talking to Josh Metallic before the race, how I'm like, it's fascinating to me. We will literally blink, and then you're like, where did Glenn Harris come from?
How did they get up there?
You haven't seen the 8 car all day, and all of a sudden he's in like 4th place. And if you rewound it 8 laps, and you watch him working his way through, it literally is crazy. Like, I remember Dale Earnhardt Sr. would do that.
Michael Norman just made a heck of a move to the bottom. He's going to try and challenge for the lead on the inside. They're kind of jostling for position right now in the middle and the top lines.
Awesome 3 wide racing right here. Get some helicopter shots.
These guys have kind of said enough is enough. We're going to start get a little bit more aggressive, although we've had this is only been this is the second lap of this green flag run. It's already been longer than either of our green flag runs so far.
Yeah. A lot has happened in the first 11 laps of the race. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Caution's out.
Again.
That one, I have no idea what for. I did not see anybody spin. Oh, yeah. Big damage on the 6th. Brian Rawson. Somebody else missed. Also, it looked like they at least teleported back to pit road. That's Tim Anderson. Heavy damage on that Chevrolet Camaro. Got the hood folded up. There's damage on the sides. So there's roof damage as well on Rawson. Tim Anderson looks like he's just taking it behind the garage, or behind the pit wall to the garage.
Yeah, Rawson was actually spinning like a top on his sunroof here. We're going to watch it here in the replay. And he's at the back of the pack, too. 3 wide almost all the way through here. Like, there's a few spots where it's not, but... Oh, wow. Yeah, Tim hooked hard right into the wall.
Oh. Yeah, brief contact with the 48. And then, 2 cars upside down from all that.
200 mile an hour perpendicular right into that outside wall. I don't know, like it got loose right there. Oh, that's a way better camera angle. He's
might have made a little bit of contact.
92, I think. Oh,
did he bump that's a hard hit.
I think physically, maybe, or maybe internet.
Yeah, looked like a slight tap.
Because the 33 drifts up a little bit and tries to avoid Rod Weston in that 19 Jägermeister car. Oh, no, it was the opposite way. It looked like he shot off a little bit weird from the 92. You can see there, he kind of...
Yeah, it looked like to me when he bounced off the 92, they were trying to just going for the same piece of real estate at the same time, and then the 33 had to swerve to the inside to avoid the 19, and then got loose, had that one little bump with Lamas, and then that's when he went around right up into the 6 car, and then that ended up having such velocity that both of them got taken out.
Yeah, I'm going to put the camera... Should I put the camera right here so we can watch that impact? Because that is some kind of gnarly impact. We'll take a look at it here. Put the camera on the wall. Yep. That's about the hardest you can hit that.
That's going to make that cinematic intro footage for next season, I feel like.
Yeah, I've got a notepad here with highlight reel stuff, and I do forget to write a lot of it down. There was, I think it was last season, I'll have to go back on the replay files. There was the greatest pits, the greatest pit entrance we have ever seen in our life, where there was a dozen or more cars coming down. And the 8 of Glenn Harris, he got out of control a little bit, and he was in a drift for a couple hundred yards and hooked it down right inside the pylon, hit pit speed, didn't hit anybody. It's almost like he passed the whole field sideways, slid it in between the cone, got it down to speed. I'm like, that is and with no penalty. And that was the one I didn't write down, but I know what happened in season 67, so I could definitely go back and find it because I have all the replays. But yeah, I got a short list of stuff that needs to go in a new highlight reel. There's just been some amazing stuff that's happened in this series. Not even talking about the other leagues, with all the footage that I have and all these replay files.
That'll definitely make the reel for sure. Craig Hagley currently 9th in the points, going to do the same strategy of staying out an extra lap under the yellow, getting a bonus point for a lap led, as we have discussed and probably will mention over the course of the rest of the night and possibly you guys for the rest of the season, that every single bonus point is going to matter. Never know what the one point is going to be that determines how close you are to being in championship contention once we're near the end of that 5th race.
Well, and we've heard it from Seth where they literally sometimes at the end of the season, they don't even know. Like they're locking in to go to the playoffs and like, we don't even know who's in the playoffs because it's literally that close. And then, knockout round is different because then it's just a car finishing in front of another car. But what comes into points now that they're running a points tally style thing, that is a lot of math. And you'll run the numbers before the race. And like, if you finish here, this guy has to be here. You have to finish, 4 places in front of this guy. And if you get a lap led, and all these scenarios. Not to mention, 33 laps into the race they have that set up as a stage bonus point. The first 10 cars across the stripe at the end of lap 33 get bonus points. And the other 30 cars get nothing. That's come down to like in the middle of like a pit windows. Sometimes guys are risking running out of fuel just to get those points. And it's, that's a cool little monkey wrench in the situation too. You're having to think about that midway point and being in that top 10 to get those extra points.
Absolutely. I mean, I was listening to the end of the broadcast last week for this series, and I remember Seth said that they're not going to know for sure until they start the race today. And that's pretty much the situation that we found ourselves in. As soon as they took the green, we knew what the situation was coming in, and we're probably not going to know until they take the green flag next Thursday night what the actual official championship standings are going to be. We'll probably have an unofficial picture for you, but going to have to wait for the official word from the admins here before we can get the actual situation for you guys.
And that's the one thing about a knockout playoff is like, you just know. Like, oh, he finished in front of that guy, that guy's gone. But the points are better. We'll deal with it. We'll get the abacus, start counting beads. Plus all the what-ifs. Yikes.
Too many what-ifs.
Oh, man. Especially in a 40-car field, because that's also talking like, you're talking like 190 points or something coming out in first place. And then in 40, if you're talking 30 points or something, like it's a massive range of points we're talking about here too. It's not like you're running a race with 18 cars, which are also phenomenal races. But if you finish last, it's not too bad. If you finish last in a race like this, there's a lot of points that are being had there.
Yeah, the situation doesn't change. Just because you've started the playoffs doesn't mean that you get any mercy for finishing in the bottom 10 or anything like that, as we're nearly four wide. Some cars having to go below the apron.
Yeah, Billy Ellis are kind of It looked like he ran out of room, but he made it work somehow. That was another very close call there. We got Demar on the top side there with McClure, Metallic, Novsker, Kazi, Godfrey trying to get that third line working. Breedlove, Hulick, Lovell, Carroll, McDonald, Alliser, Norman on the bottom.
Breedlove's running a really consistent race. Started on the pole so far and has already worked his way back up to the lead after that latest pit stop cycle. Had 3 kind of caution flag pit stop cycles already, and we're only 16 laps into this thing.
And speaking of Breedlove, he has the most laps led so far. This will be him leading his 9th. You'd think they'd settle down with the 3-wide racing after the couple of weird yellows there, but no, we're still. This is Talladega. You're never going to stop these guys. The Talladega Challenge. It's the name of the game.
Called a challenge for a reason.
Yeah.
Singled things out here near the front of the field. You have to go a little bit back to right behind Michael Norman there as Seminara is on the top and out on the outside of the 8 car.
Yeah, he's rocking that Shadows on Fire paint scheme. I think it's his nephew, Quentin, who has that band. It's on Spotify. We play it sometimes here on the broadcast too. I haven't played it for a while. I should get back in there. He's probably got some new stuff. The heavy metal rock and roll musics.
I'm a fan.
Me too. Got tickets to go see Down coming up in a couple months. That'll be awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. If anybody knows who Pantera, Crowbar, Corrosion and Conformity, and I Hate God are, all 4 of those bands, super group. Ah, oh, so good. It's neat too. It's a nice change of pace from Pantera because they're more like a thrash metal groovy band, where Down is like a New Orleans sludgy doom, like slow motion kind of band. So as the boys get older, I think they tend to play slower music. We've kind of seen that in these guys. It's like, yeah, I can't, like Phil Anselmo, he can't scream those high notes anymore either because his voice is changing. He's just got a deeper voice now. So it's like, you know what? Slow the music down, sing a little deeper. I found as my music taste changed that the slower stuff almost ends up being heavier. It's like Slayer's heavy, but Crowbar is heavier. And the tempo is completely different. So this race would be more like thrash metal, like Slayer, because, you know, 200 miles an hour. I'm trying to segue back into race broadcasting mode here. This is what happens when Seth Cole and Kyle Matthews aren't in the booth. We just start talking about our daily stuff.
we end up talking about thrash metal in the middle of a Talladega race where they're kind of 3 wide right now.
Well, and that's how we know that things have calmed down. The boys let the cars warm up, and we're, you know, they're doing what they got to do right now because we got all those yellows out of our system.
John Godfrey looks like he has lost the pack. Not sure if he is maybe having an issue or not.
He's still running a 180.
Yeah, he's running by himself. Can't quite tell what went wrong. Maybe he just ran into an issue in the middle of the traffic in front of him, but it's still there, still on the racetrack, just lost the pack.
Yeah, it looks like he just moved out of the way. You see here, he's running in 30th. I'm in replay here looking at it, and he just pulls down and slows down. Interesting. Yeah, he didn't crash or anything. He just moved out of the way. That looked like a choice. And peculiar that he didn't pit and retire. He's still running.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure what happened with Godfrey. We're going to have an interesting couple of moments here at the front of the field because the 77 car got kind of knocked out of line for a minute. That's Donnie Garrett. You had to go below the apron for a brief moment, lost a little bit of positions. That opened up a brief gap right now between what about the top 9 cars, something like that, and the rest of the field. So That's going to allow a lot of runs to open up, especially for this inside line right now. This inside is quickly going to catch back up to this lead pack.
Yeah, we can see they're on the back straightaway. Looking at the replay here of Garrett. Big checkup. Talk about utilizing that extra tarmac down there on the back straight. You know, he got into Harris a little bit. Would have been a whole lot worse if it was in the banking, but he was able to kind of, like you say, create that gap.
And there's still kind of a little bit of a gap now being formed because of that, but
good heads-up play by everybody involved, though, because they're able to see what's happening and
yeah,
just give some space. It's still early, too, right? So
it's the one thing that always impresses me the most about the drivers in this series is the reaction times. How they notice that moment, and they don't have a whole lot of time to try and get out of the way, and at the same time be able to do that without making any further contact with anybody. So that was really good by everybody else to make sure that there was no major incidents coming out of that. And Conor Garrett has remained up to speed despite that brief moment there. He's now on the bottom right now. What is he, 6th in line, 7th in line there on the bottom?
who's that?
Garrett, he's
Yep.
yeah, he's 7th in line.
7-7. Where are you? Yeah, he's back there in 15th.
Our points leader, Joe DeSpirito, has made his way to the front of the field.
Yeah, it's weird, like how it's almost like predicting the future, you know, how they drive this track. And it's like, I've been a driver my whole career since like 2001 when I started my courier stuff. That's all I do is drive. I love it. But predicting the future, you know, you just see when something's going to happen. And I think that's, these guys run this track. There's DeSpirito to the bottom. These guys run this track so often they can see patterns forming. And it's just, when I get out here and run, I just run. But a guy like DeSpirito, he knows those patterns because, like, look where he is.
Absolutely. It's like a sixth sense almost, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it is like muscle memory, right? Like, you just know where you have to be. And you get familiar with the other drivers, too. And there's a lot of guys in this league. Like, Rolling Thunder Gaming's a big league. But you're quickly going to find your favorite half dozen people that you want to drive around.
It is crazy tight in those top two lanes right now. Some drivers, there's a little bit of space on the bottom. Somebody might think about doing it. Nearly a late block.
Oh, there goes the 33, yeah. Out of line.
Kept it going.
Yeah. Back it up real quick. Good save by McDonald. He just...
It was Ken Roberts, I believe, in the 55 who made that move to the bottom. Just got in the way of the 33. Got him loose, but as we saw, he'll end up saving the car.
Man, he's on the grass and somehow keeps a hold of that thing. That's awesome. Fortunately, he will lose the draft. Oh, but Bernie Mobs is behind him. That'll help Graham out a little bit. Another amazing...
kind of spread the field out, actually. A lot of drivers now all of a sudden look like they're a lot more spread out.
Yellow flag is up. Yeah, Bernie Mobs, another awesome painter in the community there, the 31. Bernie.
I didn't see anything that brought out the yellow unless they manually decided to bring out the yellow for that moment. I was watching the front of the field.
Let's see if I can find something here. Usually Rodney will whisper to me, well, to the broadcast, because you'll be able to hear him too, but if that's a debris caution or... Let's see if I can find the point of when it actually came out. It'd been out for a while. Oh no, there is Robert Spring is airborne back there a tad.
Oh boy. I did not see it. I was looking at the front of the field after they had Avoided Graham McDonald.
Oh, the 92 kind of flat, bottomed out a little bit on the apron there and got loose. Man, the 74 almost went over.
Wow.
Almost.
The roof flaps just barely did their job there.
They were working overtime, to say the least. They need a raise those roof flaps, man. It's supposed to prevent a blowover, and I think they were about a foot from failing. But they did it. Kept Robert on the track, and he'll probably need some. He might not even need any new tires, really. I mean, he did spin out around a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, for the most part, unscathed for what he went through there. So
yeah, that's what I've noticed so far too. Like the first couple of accidents, there was really no cars getting launched up into the fence. You know, nothing crazy. A lot of tire stops. Obviously, you're gonna need tires, but.
Ken Roberts will be the driver that stays out the extra lap to get that bonus point.
Jeffrey Goodpaster right behind him. Always cool to see him out here. That's a hot looking car too. I love that thing. And he's rocking an M&M's driver paint, so it looks like he's got the Kyle Busch. Is that a Kyle Busch car?
I believe so. That's an Interstate Batteries car that he's running right now.
Kyle, Kurt? I can't remember. I get the Busch mixed up. Yeah. So that's cool.
He runs in the iRacing series here on Tuesday nights. He runs a Kyle Busch, I believe, Skittles car.
Okay. So he's finding a way to put the tribute in there. Running the uniform from one car and then running in a paint from a different one, and that's a cool idea.
Yeah, he's been quite active on the Tuesday night iRacing series, which if you have not checked that out, please do. I mean, that series has been absolutely insane. RTG with a beautiful idea to finally get those iRacing races having full points season and everything like that. It was just showcase races in the past, but now it's a whole season, has a championship to be determined, and Grant Westlake kind of pulling away with it right now, but those races are still very, very competitive.
Oh, I didn't know they never tracked points.
Yeah, this season's the first time they're doing it.
Oh, because I knew they had a iRacing, like I knew they raced in iRacing on, was it Tuesday?
Yeah,
Monday?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So they just never. Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, just this season. It's their first season. They've done the showcase races in the past where they don't track points. They just kind of get together every Tuesday and run some iRacing events just for fun. But now this season they've had enough interest to the point of doing it to have a full championship.
I guess that's good too. If you're going to start to, maybe get broadcasting in there and start tracking points and putting together a full schedule, you're going to want to test the waters first. You're not just going to want to do it and then nobody shows up. Do all that work to put it together and then nobody's interested. So that's neat. I played it a little bit. Have you played iRacing?
I have not touched iRacing. I think I tried it one time, but I was on a laptop, so it was really laggy.
Yeah. I found when you get into the NASCAR discipline or even the Craftsman trucks or whatever, 100% feels exactly like this.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, because it's all owned by Papyrus. It's the same code, same net code, same physics. Everything's built from this. So that was the one thing when EA took them over. They made sure that they held on to the physics engine in the net code because it's flawless. And of course, they expanded on it a lot too. But it was neat jumping in there and jumping in a NASCAR and just feeling right at home. There's no learning curve. It handles the way it should. And it's a lot of fun. It's just too bad it's like, $15 a month.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like is I think the two things that have kind of turned me off to iRacing is that number one, you got to pay every month for it. Number two, it's you're locked to that first-person cockpit camera view. You can't get like a third-person view like you can get in this game. So
yeah, I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah,
the
they
one thing
force you to
that's,
stay in the cockpit.
you got to have the cockpit view where you see the wheel, which I guess it's more realistic, so fair enough. But it's like it's realistic enough to the point where like there are real world Cup Series drivers that would use iRacing to train for tracks that they might have not raced on before or might have not raced on in a while. So
They used to use this
iRacing
for
putting
that.
together a realistic simulator, but at the same time, I don't think it's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I played it for like a year and a bit maybe, and then I just got back into this again. But if people do play this and love this, it's not even, there's literally no learning curve at all to jump into iRacing and run some street stocks or ARCA or NASCAR or whatever. Like I think the Cup cars, you got to buy them, but you can run.
Yeah, that too.
Something. There's a bunch of free stuff. Like you pay the subscription and then you can race a bunch of stuff. And you don't want to download every discipline. There's literally every kind. Like there's stadium trucks. There's rallycross. There's F1,
IndyCar,
vintage
F1.
IndyCar. It's wild. Literally whatever you like is there. But the NASCAR is great. It feels exactly like this. And then they've got like Legacy Daytona with the bumps in it.
It's crazy.
Then you would have to buy the new one. So you're $10 to $18 to buy a new track. So it's like, you hope the league that you join doesn't require you to drop $200 to get all the tracks. And I did buy the ARCA mod because I wanted to be kind of separated from the people who were just using the free stuff. That kind of helped a little bit. At least when you buy something, you're hopefully out there to not just wreck everybody, but public racing servers are tough. League racing's the only way to do it.
I'm not sure if Billy Elliser has a penalty. He was in the chat a moment ago typing EOLL, which means end of longest line, so he might have had an incident on pit road. Joe DeSpirito will be in the lead as we get back going. A couple laps before halfway.
Greetings from the gang in Chicago. Have a great broadcast. We're watching on our B&B television.
There you go.
Seth Cole in the Tarnation TV. I'm sending the signal to Flat Out Racing. I don't know if
it's
there
live.
there was a link set up to grab that feed because I was hoping it was this race.
Yeah, I'm currently. I said I was relying on the stream for replays. I've got the Flat Out.
Oh, you've
feed
got
up
that.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all up and running there.
I was thinking, oh wow, I never even thought to like double check to make sure that they had a Tally Challenge link up because it would literally grab, because I'm using the stream key, it would grab the next one in line and be like, if this isn't an IndyCar race. Ooh, at the line, that's pretty close. That might be Michael Norman. Yes, it is.
Godfrey looks like he went off track again there. Keep it going on the bottom. He'll probably just have to get back in line and he'll lose touch with the pack again. Not really sure what's going on with Godfrey. He's been running in that exact scenario for a good chunk of this race now.
So this next lap will be, oh no, Pat Makarski. Yeah. Bad is bad. Race back to the line. Well, they're probably not going to race back to the line. They freeze the field. Pat Makarski got into shape.
This has been pretty caution-filled so far. A lot of drivers might be a little bit jumpy with this being the first race of the playoffs.
Yeah, so now this is lap number 33. So lap number 33 will end under caution. This is the lap in which they get the stage bonus points. So if Michael Norman stays out, which I'm assuming he probably will, he will receive maximum points at the stage break.
They're flying past the pace car right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's super spread out. But
this is a neat way of doing it. When I first started racing here, like I got back into it years ago, and it was like, yeah, drive full speed all the way around to the back straight. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Because you're trying to stop with a pace car. It's like, no. Get back here. It's 12 lanes wide. Fan out. Slow down.
That feels safer.
Way better. And you'll never get penalized because you just have to get it figured out before the line. So we'll go back and look at the replay here. We're just going to watch to see maybe Norman, Despirito, Seminara, Sullins. A couple of problems to start the race. Sullins, he's up there again. 4th spot. Breedlove, Sandoval, Causey, Paglia, Hewlett, who's back there? Carroll. And that'll be your top 10 if they don't if they don't pit. I'm thinking you guys aren't going to pit, are you? Everybody behind 10th might.
A couple people did.
Yeah. A couple of the guys in the top 10 were kind of faking like they were going to go. I'm like, you're giving up them points, boys. It looks like Denny went. According to my telemetry, like my scorecard here, Denny was in 10th position. And Denny Carroll looked like he went down to pit road. Yeah, there he is on the pit road.
I almost wonder, I could be wrong. This could be a call that the admins made, maybe not, but they could have maybe decided that the end of the stage would just be coming to the yellow the last time around. That might be why some people from the top 10 ultimately just made the trip to pit road this time.
Maybe. Because I'm seeing like the majority of the top 10 stayed out, everybody else pitted, which would make sense when the yellow comes out, everybody goes down pits first time. But in order to get those points, now they're going to be, well, they're going to be in the back 10 now.
Yeah, I'm not certain. They could have made that call. Because other than that, I can't really think of a good reason why you would pit when you're basically all but confirmed to be getting stage points once you cross the line.
I'm going to ask Rodney here, see what he says. Rodney Sellings, you got me?
Yeah.
Curious about the stage points. They were in at the end of lap 33, right?
Yes, end of lap 33.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Either way, we know that Michael Norman's going to have the stage win.
Thank you very much, bud. That's what I needed.
Spirito able to maintain second.
Yep. Confirmation from Rodney Sellins. End of lap 33 stage points were in. So I think Denny went down and he was in 10th. I mean, according to my scorecard, he was 10th. So either way.
Well, end of lap 33, yeah, he would get stage points then. Because they were ending lap 34 when he came to pit road. Or no.
No, the last lap around. That's why the top 10 stayed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised to see him go in there. And here he comes again. Yeah. Either way, what's done is done. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Rodney was saying there, yep, nope, end of lap 33. It doesn't really matter. So that's where you're going to see some weird strategies because it's just another thing to think about for the drivers. That's a great scenario for some bonus points.
Yeah, I mean, the strategy that some drivers can choose, we've seen at some other series in some weeks past that decisions being made for strategies for how you're going to get stage points can affect the end results for the race as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you literally could win the race, which means you led a lap, lead the most laps, lead the 33rd lap. That's an astronomical amount of points.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't win the race overall, just doing all that is like enough to get so many bonus points. There's a lot of drivers that stayed out here. Yeah,
even if you got like third, you'd come out of the race with more points than the winner if the winner wasn't in that stage, in those stage point scenario at the end of 33. So yeah, a lot more work for the administrators behind the scenes to make sure the points are proper, but.
Stage leaders made their way down pit road this last time by, so that's going to turn the lead over to Doug Hewlick. And you got Graham McDonald now up here running in second after having that incident earlier where he was kind of in that single car situation where he lost the pack, but he managed to keep it straight, had a nice save, and is now going to be up here in the conversation for the race lead. Greg Lovell up here as well as Pat McCarskey. Ellie Causey, Jeremy Jeffries are up here as well. Some names that we haven't really mentioned all day. Ken Roberts is up here. Greg Palmer's up here. Double check, but I'm pretty sure Roberts is actually the highest running of the playoff drivers right now on this restart.
Yeah, he's right behind Jeffries. Is Greg Lovell not in the playoffs? I thought he... Wow, yeah,
no,
maybe
he is.
not. Yeah.
He is. Greg Lovell's 10.
So Greg Lovell's always in the playoffs. But I mean, it's a lot of stiff competition here, too. Doug Kulik lead the pack. Such a cool paint job, too, on that... on both those guys, actually. I like that Buffalo Bills one, too, on Lovell. But Doug Kulik's got that cool Black Flag 23. I like Kelly's numbers on that red 00.
I think that's unique, actually, yeah.
He needs
like
to
a
keep
shield
that.
almost.
Yeah, I was going to say it. It reminds me of like a shield icon of some kind, the 00. And
We got to crash Michael Norman around big one on the front straightaway. A lot of drivers just went around there.
Yeah, Seminare's in there. Paglia, Hagley, Sullins, Spring, Jones.
Paglia, who is
Deemer.
5th in the points, looks like he's got heavy damage on that Ford.
We'll back it up. And this is the 7th caution. Not the way you want to start a playoff round.
Man, there's been wreck after wreck. I really feel like there might be some kind of jumpiness about these drivers, knowing that it's the first race of the playoffs and the stakes are as high as it gets. And with how tough it is just to win a race so far this season, I mean, or in this series in general, some tough breaks for a lot of guys.
Looks like Grant Wesley, Rod Weston. Something happened on that top line, I think. Oh, Rod Weston had a huge head of steam and had nowhere to go. Bounced off the wall.
And he probably just briefly tags Michael Norman there, then he backs up and gets up, and everybody almost wonder maybe if he should have tried to move to the inside. I don't know, though. I don't know. There might have been just not enough time to react once that happened.
Yeah, he was right on the back of, I think it was Grant Wesley.
Yeah, it looked like it was Grant. The problem is, though, and you pointed it out, he tried to go to the outside at first, and there's just no room to make that work. He had to really squeeze his car in there, and then he looked to me like he realized he just couldn't make the move work on the inside, but by that point, or the outside, and then by that point, there was just not enough time for him to react, and he goes down the track, slips up, and tags Michael Norman, and around everybody else goes.
And the interesting thing here, too, is that's, like you said, it's pretty tight. But if that same thing happened a couple 100 yards down right here, it widens out, you'd have tons of room. It's literally a matter of like a second.
Yeah. That's how tight it is.
Mm-hmm. So they're coming off pit road here again.
Don Godfrey is having a very difficult go of it. He was just backwards on pit road, only just now managed to get into and out of his stall and take service. Michael Norman is staying in the race. I cannot tell if anybody else who was involved is still here, if there are any more DNFs. I don't see. Jeff Goodpaster is the latest person that I have seen leave the server, so I believe he's out of this one as well.
Black Flag Josh Metallic. Just watching Godfrey. Yeah, he's got no room. Palmer tried to let him in there, but that's another thing when you're running iRacing. No collisions on pit road. Not here. You're driving a NASCAR, you're driving it the whole time.
Yeah, pit road can just be such a big point of difficulty for a lot of guys.
So it's showing Metallic. Oh, it was showing Metallic with a black flag, but he's not even on the track.
Was he also involved? He might have been caught up in that.
Yeah. Lap 36. Retired. Oh, he didn't retire. He disappeared. The
He's
car,
lost connection?
yeah, the car you see right here, the camera will stop tracking, and he's gone.
He's still here. I see him on my end.
Yeah, because on the race statistics, he's just been given a black flag. Oh, he's back now.
Yeah. I'm watching him off pit road right now,
Yeah,
so he might have just had a connection problem, maybe.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it did happen under a yellow flag.
Yeah, you'd rather it happen under a yellow than under a green.
Yeah. Well, I guess it wouldn't really matter. I believe here at Rolling Thunder, if there's a connection issue, they'll let you, and you get your stuff sorted out and get back in the server. They'll give you every lap back except for one. So even if he was gone for 10 minutes, he would still be -1. Other cars that had some problems this evening, Cody Lamas has retired due to an accident, Bobby Farrell, Tim Anderson, and Brian Rawson. So even with all the shenanigans that have been going on, there's only 4 guys out of this race. 16 laps led by Robert Braidlove. He's got the most led tonight.
This is where you're thankful for moderate damage as well, because that means all those bumps that you see drivers taking, as long as it's not like a huge impact with the wall or anything too crazy like that, it's not bad enough really to take anybody out of the race so far. But it's been able to make their way down pit road, get those cars repaired, not really lose any laps. The only thing they really lose at this point is track position.
Yeah, and track position's massive, but I mean, if it's under yellow, at least you get the, like you say, the pack racing here too, right?
Yeah.
You need that draft, so everything will be fine.
Even if it is under yellow, as long as you still stay attached to the pack, you're in the conversation for the win.
Exactly.
That's what's really important.
And you can get lucky too, some weird offset pit cycle or some kind of crazy strategy. What was it last week? Who was it? Schilling at ASR last Saturday. Everybody had to pit for fuel, but he didn't. And he ran the entire last lap at about 120 miles an hour here at Talladega. And he would have the clutch in for like 15 seconds. And then he would put the clutch out, and the RPM was like fluttering at 6,000. And then he'd put the clutch in for another 10 seconds. And then when he brought it back, the RPM was fluttering down around 4,800. So every time he put the clutch in and brought the clutch back, the RPMs were dropping. So he was losing fuel like crazy on that last lap. Coasted across the start-finish line at about 100 miles an hour and won the race 10 seconds in front of everybody else.
Insane.
Absolutely couldn't believe it. I love that stuff. It's like, there's no, I'm like, wait, Schilling didn't pit? Like, you can't do it because it's a drafting track. But even
Some
though
drivers
he
just
ran,
know what they're doing.
Yeah, even though he ran the whole final lap like at 120 mile an hour, which is like 60 miles an hour under regular speed if you're alone, he still made it to the end with no fuel and a 10-second lead. Oh man, it was awesome.
Got a question in the chat I see on the Tarnation TV side. Ben Snyder asking who's in the booth tonight. It's Blaine Dunlin as usual, and then yours truly, Jack Mitchell, filling in for both Seth Cole and Kyle Matthews, who are on a much-deserved vacation right now. They should be back next week, I believe. Yeah, they're rocking some amusement parks. I remember they had their cars painted, synced up there the one time when everybody ran. They were like a roller coaster crew, and then every guy had a different roller coaster sponsor on their car. It was pretty awesome. And Seth does all the paint work too, so it looked great. Benjamin also said too, it's great to see the 56 out there. Yeah, we love Jeff. I always go back to Jeff, man. Like, he's the reason Tarnation TV exists. He let us use and abuse his league, and he used and abused us too. So up here in P4, I believe, as well. So he's in the conversation right now up here. And somebody else I see up here is Breedlove again. I mean, the pole sitter has been very, very consistent. Not exactly at the front of the field, but he's close enough. Having this restart, I believe, in P7. That's going to be Doug Hulick who brings us back to the green here. How long can we go? I think that's kind of the big question on everybody's minds is, do we have another short green flag run here and another crash, or can they try and keep it green for a handful more laps until the end of this thing?
Yeah, there was a pretty good run there, and then just back to the strange cautions, on board right now with the 56.
We're right back under yellow, I think? Yeah, the caution's back out.
Caution is back out, yep. We will get to the end of this race eventually.
Sometime tonight.
It might take another 45 minutes, but we'll get there.
I have no idea
it's
what
crazy
causes
because laps at speed, laps are like 48 seconds. So you could get through a whole race in about 50 minutes or so.
Or you could get through a whole race in about half a day, which is what this one feels like.
That's
right
what this one's turning out to be. But yeah, like and again, we've been here at Rolling Thunder Gaming on the Talladega Challenge, and you get these races now. This is our 8th caution. You'll get these races. There's none, 0 green flag. Green flag pitting the whole way through, and the race is done in less than an hour. Like the actual race itself. The broadcast always goes live a little bit early, so we can we can do our jaw jacking and all that kind of fun stuff at the start. But the race event itself, could literally be done that quick. But today is just something in the air, and not only the smoke from Canada, as our forests burn down. Sucks. It's depressing because everybody loves the smell of a campfire, but when you walk outside and that's what you can smell and you understand it's literally tens of thousands of hectares of forest that are burning into the ground right now, it's like, oh my God, it's so depressing.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I as someone in the Southern California area, that kind of happens. Just the fires in general, it feels like it's a yearly occurrence, unfortunately, which is always tough to see.
Yeah, and I used to live out west in British Columbia, and they have a lot of problem with fire out there, but it's like they can contain it. I don't know what's going on in Ontario and Quebec the last couple of years. It's just wild. And then, of course, the smoke bleeds down into the States. So we're wrecking your summer. Get to smell our smoke pit. Locked on to the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott.
Handful of the leaders are going to stay out here, or at least for the extra lap. I mean, I don't know if they're going to come down pit road again. I honestly, I have no idea what the strategy is, but I feel like all initial strategies for this race are kind of gone out the window at this point.
I wonder why Jeffrey's staying on pits. That's weird. He's stuck back there. That's because he was up in 4th. Not anymore.
I don't even know what brought up the yellow, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's true. I never went back and found that.
I couldn't see anybody spun around. I didn't see
it
anything
came
when I
out
went
very
back.
quick.
Like as soon as they were on the backstretch, or they weren't even fully on the backstretch. They were making their way out of 1 and 2. I saw the lights on. So
yeah, I'll follow the pace car here in replay mode and see when he gets all fired up. Then we'll be able to find out where we need to look. Okay, maybe we're in business now. Let's see. Looking for smoke, looking for something. Yeah, something definitely happened on the restart because Richard Martin's out of shape on the restart. Oh, it might have actually been Richard Martin. That's weird. Yeah, this is all going. The green flag is flying. and then the 43 just like stops. So no accident, just they had to pull the yellow because the field got shuffled. The car just died.
That's an interesting one. I have no idea what happened. Maybe he lost a gear or something like that. I don't know. The car just comes to a complete stop, as you said, and they're past pit road, so he can't do anything but tow it back.
Okay, so GNL TV, which is the software we use behind the scenes to see what's going on, will feed us some info sometimes. It's reporting piston failure. So it blew an engine. Usually there's black smoke related to that. That's why I sound flabbergasted.
That's the weird thing, too. I was watching the replay. I was waiting to see when the black smoke would start pouring out of that car. I didn't see anything, so that's...
And then the yellow comes out right there. That's funny.
Interesting one, to say the least.
Nobody hits him, he moves out of the way, and then the yellow comes out. But yeah, anyway, the car he put the gas pedal down, and the car was quiet, so... Doug Hewlett's still in front.
Checking on some playoff guys right now. Like Kazi, 16th in the points, currently restarting in P2.
Perry Bond in our chat here on Tarnation says, yeah, the 56 of Jeffrey Elliott went from the rear to the front twice this race. And is now currently... I can't see him.
Probably near the back. I mean, he spent all that
27th.
time on pit road.
Yeah. Lap 45 is about to begin here, so Doug Hewlett.
Denny Carroll currently running in P7. He's 14th in the points going into this one. Lucy Sandoval right behind him as well. He is 11th in points. Some playoff drivers have worked their way up here into this conversation at the front of the field.
Yeah, Jeffrey Elliott's back there. He is in the main pack, so that's good. I don't know what happened on pit road. He went from 4th all the way back to 27th there. Graham McDonald right beside Kelly Causey at second row. Bernie Mobbs. Last time we saw him, he was way back there too, and he's kicking it in the 5th spot right there now. The 6th is what I was going to say now. This literally changes every 3 seconds, but that at the line, he was in 6th.
Double Zero was able to lead that last lap by about an inch. He gets that lap-led bonus point, which is big for his playoff chances. Mike Mangialardi, haven't really mentioned his name a lot. He's up here in 2nd now.
Yep.
Tim Nofsker, he's up here in this top line here. Ben Roberts has worked his way back up here as well, so
Nofsker has not led a lap, and neither has Mangialardi. Hewlett's got a few. He's got 11. Kelly, like you said, just had 1.
Should get another right here.
Yep. Mangialardi's going to want one too.
Nofsker's really going to want one. I feel like if he can work his way up to the front, he might be wanting to do that, considering he is 2nd in the points right now, and I can't quite tell exactly where Joe DeSpirito is, or if he's even still in the race. Yeah, he's up here still.
I can
He's
see
running
him,
in 20th. Could not see his car for a moment, but that might have just been my camera angle.
Yeah, speaking of camera angles, NR Clips is the guy I got this camera file from. Love it for Talladega. Spectator cam's awesome. Especially on the back straight, you can really see the bump drafting. It's like a spectator with a telescope.
I can now. I'm just now picturing the spotters on top of the spotter stand using telescopes to spot the field.
This is basically what this spectator cam reminds me of, because it doesn't stay back. It zooms into that back straightaway, which is how you can get these angles. It's more like a spotter camera than it is a spectator camera.
Yeah, I can definitely tell there's a lot of bump drafting and visible on that.
Yeah, it's such a great camera pack. It mimics a lot of the TV angles within that spectator shot's great. And the same guy made one for Daytona, and it's the same style spectator cam too. So it's just copy and paste those settings. But usually spectator cam will switch. It'll flip around. There's usually 5 points around the track. Or sometimes guys will just have it so zoomed out it looks like you're physically sitting in the stands, which is no fun because you can't see anything when they're on the back straightaway, but this one's great.
Well, at least it's realistic.
That is true. If we're going for realism. What's happening? Can I borrow your binoculars? Or like you say, telescope. Jack Sparrow style.
Just bring a whole spyglass to the race.
Yep.
Don't know how security will let it in, but hey, if it works, it works.
Yep, why not?
Greg Palmer up here in P3 right now, which is important for him because he came into the playoffs driver number 18 of 18 in the cut line spot. So obviously there won't be any more cuts in the playoffs. Nobody's going to be eliminated mid playoffs, but this is pretty much how you want to start if you're Palmer.
Yeah, he got caught up in the first couple of yellows, which happened within the first 5 laps. And here he is at the end of the race in 3rd position.
Here's something coming up here that we haven't talked about all day. Lap traffic.
Oh, yeah, Donnie Garrett.
Some roof damage on the 77, it looks like. Can get up there to the top and out of everybody's way, though.
So is Goodpaster still running? That's the 18 car. No, he's not. My stats are showing that he is. That's why I was asking. So Brian Ross and Tim Anderson, Bobby Farrell, Cody Lamas, Jeff Goodpaster, and Richard Martin unfortunately have retired from the race. Donnie Garrett 1 lap down. Everybody else, which is 33 other cars, all on the lead lap. 15 to go.
I think we've reached the late race portion where they're kind of just playing it a little bit more safe here. Everybody's kind of single file up the front. I don't really have any clue at this point whether or not they can make it to the end on fuel.
I think
any real strategies kind of went out the window with all the yellows, I think.
Yeah. I think we will definitely need to see some pitting. Seeing how they
I wouldn't be
go
surprised.
19 laps. Unless you're Kelly Causey because you're out front breaking all the air.
Oh! Graham McDonald got shoved out of line there.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite tell who that was, and now might have made a little bit of contact with Ulysses behind him.
Pat McCarskey, I believe. Back it up and take a look at it. Yeah, McCarskey looked like he got down on the apron a little bit. Upset the car. Got a little bit close. Graham able to hold on to it. Pat McCarskey able to hold on to it. Ulysses tucks back in behind Graham. They are teammates to help him get some of that momentum back.
And Ulysses kind of giving him a little bit of a bump draft there just to make sure he can keep that thing up to speed. I mean, yeah, that was a little bit of a scary moment because McCarskey was having some tires on the apron right there, almost lost the car, barely managed to recover it, but he had to kind of use Graham McDonald as a little bit of a buffer there to just make sure he got it straight, although that probably wasn't the greatest hit if you're McDonald there. It wasn't really a friendly hit, but it wasn't really anything that took him out of the race either.
Definitely could have been way worse. We see some pitting going on now. Yep.
Like Hewlett, I saw McDonald, I think, as well, was one of the drivers that came in.
Yeah, McCarskey, Cy Jones. So this will definitely get them to the end because we're within about 12 to go now.
A lot of single file right now, so I would imagine these guys are getting geared up to make their way to pit road within the next lap or so.
So far, no takers. It's also the question of how much do you take? Like, do you need 2 cans? The farther you go, you might only need 1.5 cans. You might even be able to push to 1 can. Like, there's all that strategy going on as well. Probably no tires. Or maybe if you're going to take a full can, you might as well get one side of tires, because it's not going to hurt. Unless they start yelling at you that, oh no, one of the lug nuts is jammed. You know, with one of those type of things, and you're like, man, you guys could have changed the tires. It's like, could change tires and got gas, and it's like, oh, we're wrecking in the back.
Yellow flag.
Yeah.
That's probably why a lot of people ended up not going on the pit road, because they could just take this pit stop under yellow here. I'm not really sure what brought this one out, because we were paying attention to the front.
But, you know, a bunch did go down. So now they're going to go forward.
Oh, Jeffrey Elliott is still on pit road entry right now. Jeffrey Elliott, I think, is the only person I can tell is involved right now. And just scanning through everybody else. He's the only person that I saw. And Elliott is now out of the race.
Yeah, I was going to say, Elliott got involved in it. Spraying Breedlove, so we can get on.
Breedlove. Yeah, that's a big deal for Breedlove. He's been running really consistently over the course of this race. Started up on the pole.
Yeah.
Been up at the front for good chunks of it. Now finds himself involved in this late caution that might take him out of the conversation for the win. Still on the track for now, for the time being.
Yeah, hard hit for Jeff on that front corner. It's going to damage that wheel probably.
This is going to be a really, really important race off of pit road here.
Yeah. These guys already did pit. The car's going by here now. So, yeah, this is important because there's a big pack of cars in front. It looks like it's going to be Palmer, Roberts and Metallic, Hagley and Wesley, and everybody else. Interesting. So now your race leader is the 01 of Jeremy Jeffries.
I talked about him that much today, and
there he is.
Finds himself up here near the front.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want us to talk about you. That means you're just staying out of trouble, especially when it's a trouble-filled race. You know, we've had 8 yellows tonight. 26 of the laps we've run have been under caution.
It's almost like the referees in sports. You never want to know the referee's name, because if you know his name, that means you know he's somebody that doesn't do very well. Here's an interesting name that's up here at the front of the field. Chuck McClure, back-to-back defending champion of the Talladega Challenge, finds himself in 3rd place on this restart.
And he's been at the back a couple times too. Like 38th, or was it like 36 or something position? We were locked onto him during one of those wrecks. And now he's in 3rd place. And he would have been part of that group who went down first. And then the accident happened, and then the guys up front have pitted down, so it's kind of just flipped the whole field.
Yeah, it has. So I think everybody that kind of just made their way on the pit road right before the yellow kind of got lucky in a sense, because now they get to stay out for just a little bit longer. They won't necessarily have as fresh tires, but in terms of track position, they got pretty lucky. Chuck McClure currently trying to defend that title right now, 13th in the points, so this could be a very, very key restart for him.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching. If it's on Tarnation TV or if it's on Flat Out Racing Network, go subscribe to whatever you're not subscribed to. I don't know how to say that properly. Subscribe to the channels.
Both channels.
Yeah. Like the videos. And make sure you comment below. Blah, 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 blah. Do what you want to do. People know how to use YouTube. We don't like to bark it. But we do appreciate the views because, you know, these things come a long way.
Absolutely.
I never thought I'd be sharing the booth with Flat Out Racing Network. Kind of like the epitome of the whole NR2003 broadcast community when it comes to what they've accomplished. And it's like, hey, do you want to join up with them? I'm like, yeah. And then get the broadcast at Rolling Thunder? Sure. Kind of like one of the longest running leagues around.
Yeah, kind of crazy how long it's been going on for. Like when I first got involved in this whole thing, I was kind of taken aback by the whole scope of it. But it is crazy to see the longevity of this league.
6 years old or something like that. It's crazy. You know, and their founder, like David Cannon, that pace car is painted in tribute to him, passed away there, and that's literally how long it's been here. So many people have come and gone, and then again, Tarnation TV now, we start broadcasting for Rolling Thunder Wednesdays starting September 9th. Gotta look at my whiteboard. The Aero 88 series that they do here on Wednesdays. They've hired us to do that, so Rod Weston and I will be busy doing that. Aero 88, such a cool mod.
Yeah, you guys should enjoy that.
Yeah, and they don't run Talladega, so that's a change of pace.
Yeah, there you go. They kind of go all over the place. They're pretty unique in terms of their schedule.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with Talladega. These are always amazing races. But we do a lot of broadcasting for Talladega. So it's cool. Like the Maverick Cup Series on Tuesdays that we broadcast. They cover, what are we doing? We did Road America last week. We're doing Indianapolis next week. We're going to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec after that. So that's cool. A lot of road courses in there. And they pretty much they don't mimic it 100%. Obviously, NASCAR doesn't race at Gilles Villeneuve. But, you know, they'll take a track out, and they try to follow the NASCAR Cup schedule as close as they can with some cool little variants in there. So
Always good to see a little bit of variation.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun to have the different leagues because then it definitely mixes it up. And then we'll go over to SMO and do some special events with them, like the Bash races and stuff. And they're always racing on weird tracks too. That's a really cool league. And Josh, too, is always texting you. He'll always send out an invite every Monday. And Monday's one of the busier days at work. So I usually can't get on. And I haven't even driven in this game in a long time because it's all broadcasting. But they're always racing at some really neat, unique tracks, too. Weird little short tracks and street courses and all kinds of stuff. Pace cars getting out of the way.
A lot of big names up here for the front of the field for this restart. You got Jeremy Jeffries, Tim Knopfsker has worked his way up here. Joe DeSpirito's back up here as well. Chuck McClure we talked about. Ulysses Sandoval. So 5 of these drivers. There could be a little bit more too, but I can, off the top of my head, these top 5 drivers are all playoff drivers right now at the front. Rodney Solons, I think, is up here as well.
We're going to have about 6 laps to go. Lap number 60 of 66. And within 10, we race back. So, if a yellow should come out, they're not lifting this time.
Chris Elliott in the Flat Out Racing Network chat said the big dogs found their way to the front.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what has happened right now. I mean, this is kind of the cream of the crop rising to the front of the field here in the late going. All the playoff drivers are finding their way up here, and really good chance. Not guaranteed, obviously. It's never over until you see the checkered flag, but a pretty good chance right now that one of them is going to try and do everything they can to find their way to victory lane here tonight, but anything can happen in this final stretch of the race here.
And we see Jeffries was the lead car now on the middle lane, or the high line. Yeah, what's the move? You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough call. You want to be in that middle. This close to the end of the race, he's going to be racing probably, I'd say, 85% out of that rear view.
Probably. I mean, the important thing here is just not to lose track position. You don't want to go up to the top and make that move to really not even just the top at any line rather than that, and just not have that push from behind. You lose all that momentum. You lose all that track position, because it can be tough sometimes, especially when the laps are winding down, to really gain that track position back.
Ulysses had a great run, got to the bottom, but Despirito doesn't want to push them, so going to play a game of leapfrog right now. Oh, Seminara to the bottom. Feeding Ulysses a little taste of his own medicine, if you will. They're not close enough down there, though. You got to be bumper to bumper to make that
we might have a
push
caution. There was a car around to the back.
Yep, we do. Yellow is out, racing back to the line.
That Breedlove? Yeah, it's Breedlove. That's...
McClure going under. He got underneath him. Oh, and now they're going to put Jeffries in the vortex. He's going to go backwards from first to about 10th by the time he gets back around.
Novsker working his way up to second, trying to hold on to that spot. There's going to be a run at the bottom. Novsker going to be able to hold them off for the time being, but McClure might not even be the leader when we get back to the line. It's going to be awful close.
Yeah, that's too close to call. We'll let the game do it. Novsker's fourth. Hagley, McClure, Roberts got it. Yep. By how much? 0.01. And where did Jeffries go? 12th. In one lap, he went from first to 12th. He got caught in that sucker hole, like they call it. I called it the vortex. Same thing. You get stuck in the middle and no help, you're done. All that air around you, but it's on the sides.
That's what I was saying right before they went back green, or right after they went back green. I said it at some point. I was talking about how you don't want to have that, be stuck in that one spot where you don't have a push really in any lane of the track. Doesn't matter whether it's middle, inside, or outside. If you don't have a run behind you, and you don't have any drafting out behind you, you're gone. And it was Robert Breedlove that brought out that yellow flag. That's his race has just done a complete 180. He was pretty consistent up here at the front, running in the top 10, top 5 a lot.
Or four wide.
They're really going in this race. Started on the pole too.
They're like 4 wide right here. Yeah, and that's what happened. The 931 of Breedlove trying to give the 711 some room.
I've been doing that for the 711 pretty much the whole race.
Yeah, bounced off McCarthy there and got around. Again, not a catastrophic wreck, just going to need new tires. But brings out the yellow as we head on to lap number 63 of 66. Thanks for watching the Tarnation TV production simulcast on Tarnation TV and Flat Out Racing Network. Make sure to join in next week. Same time, same channels. For race number 2 of 5 of the playoffs. I like the 5 races. That's a long time. That's going to be some cool stuff going on.
I mean, it's cool because it's a long time, but it's not a short time. Or it's a short time, but it's not a long time either. It's kind of like you got a decent amount of races to try to just earn as many points as you can, but it's almost a sprint in a sense. It's like you really have that one brief period of the season where it's like, all right, this is it. Just go out there, do whatever you can, get as many points as you possibly can, and it's a really, really tight battle here, and a lot of drivers that are trying to have to navigate all that chaos that we usually see at Talladega, and a lot of drivers that not that high up in the points that kind of just want to do whatever they can. They at least get a checkered flag and end their season on a high note.
And the 5-race playoff, to me, kind of feels like it's cool because it seems longer, because a lot of times it's only 3 races, I think. But the fact that we're tracking points for those 5 races is nice. But you still can't really make... What do you think? Like, maybe you can have one bad race, maybe? You're going to have to have 4 pretty good ones.
I wouldn't even say that you have one bad race. I think I don't think you can afford it with how tight the competition is.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do everything they can. I would not even say that you can afford one bad race.
Yeah, and we're here on a Thursday, which means the server's full. Doesn't matter. There's knockout qualifying every week. Tarnation TV
Here we
chat.
go.
Chris Van Vliet says, hello from Annapolis. Hello, Annapolis. Ooh, let's focus on the cars. There we go.
Yep, this
Thanks,
is it.
Chris.
2 laps to settle this one.
Yeah, no pressure, guys. I'm thinking the next flag may end the race, but they will have to come back to the line to get it.
The hope is that they, at the very least, that's the hope is that they are able to take the white flag under green flag conditions, because by that point, that's race back. It doesn't matter if the caution comes out.
A 66-lap race today. There has been 30 of those under caution. 9 yellow flags. That's just a strange one. That does
Grant
not
Wesley
happen
is up
very
here.
often.
No, it doesn't. Grant Wesley is not a name that we've talked about. He spent a lot of this race down a lap, but I think all the yellow flags allowed him to regain those laps back, and now he's running an 8th.
Yeah, currently the only car lap down now is Donnie still. Yeah, you can see the blue and orange 88 of Wesley. You got Palmer, Causey, Hagley. Roberts leading.
Wesley got loose just for a brief moment there, and will recollect it. We are going to get the white flag this time by under green flag conditions. So at this point, it is race back. Next flag is going to end it, no matter if it's a yellow flag or not.
Does Hagley have anything? Or are you just going to, or does he just say, you know what? Let's just get this over with.
I think they're 5 wide behind them. Yeah, they're just, oh my goodness.
Focus on the
big
leaders.
crash in the back.
Oh, really? You said 5 wide.
they were 5 wide. There was a car that was just about flipping. At least definitely went airborne. We'll take a look at that after the race is over.
Stay tuned, because while we're interviewing the guys here, we'll go back and take a look at that stuff.
And Roberts in front. Does Craig Hagley have anything for him? Does he maybe try to go up and use Chuck McClure? Not going to make a move. Nobody's got time. It's Ken Roberts that's going to take the first checkered flag of the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll let Ken do his thing, and then go back and take a look at that replay.
Yeah, I definitely saw 5 wide, and then I think it was Mark Paglia that went for basically tried to use the infield at Talladega here as an airplane runway.
I'm here to help you move up, people, but I will be right back.
That was like the ghost of Christmas past that just, I'm hearing voices. Congratulations to Ken Roberts, the 55, finding his way to the front of this thing. Race time, 1 hour and 36 minutes.
That was a long one for sure, but Ken Roberts going to get a nice boost in the points from that victory. 7th place going into this one, so he's going to enjoy that result. Craig Hagley, Chuck McClure, Kelly Causey, Tim Knopf's in the top 5. They're also going to enjoy some nice days in terms of points and the playoffs. I'm trying to find out where our points leader going in finished, that being Joe DeSpirito.
I'm showing DeSpirito in 13th.
13th. Not terrible, but when you look at guys like Grant Wesley, Tim Knopfsker, who were just behind him, that both finished inside the top 10, I think it's safe to say we're going to have a new points leader after tonight.
Yeah.
Priscilla in our chat of FRN saying Ken was due. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, and this is a tough one to get to the front. There you go. A Mountain Dew rig of Sir Ken Roberts. He's a driver over here at RTG, and then he runs the ASR series over there on Saturdays. So he's no stranger to Talladega, that's for sure.
just want to go back and verify on my end really quick what I was looking at the end, because it looked to me like they were just about 5 wide. It was crazy in the back there when they had that last lap crash.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. This track's wide enough you can almost go 7 wide in some spots too. So we're gonna get everything saved up here and then start talking to some drivers. So my mic is gonna go quiet for a second because my keyboard is super loud.
I have the moment. I'm looking at it right now when they were 5 wide. So you had Brian Schilling on the top.
5 wide. Yeah, that race was all kinds of.
You were right. I'm seeing right now. You were right in front. You were right behind it. It was happening right out your windshield there.
And then the backstretch wreck I got in part of too, just a little bit, but I never spun. I chose the bottom. I was like, it's gonna go somewhere, and then it didn't.
They were definitely all fighting for position there on the end of it. I mean, there was just it was one of those late race deals where you never know what is going to happen when they're all trying to get every single position they can, all trying to scramble for the best possible finishing position, and you get caught up in that 5 wide incident. And
absolutely, I believe we have time for the 17, right? He's finished 3rd place. I don't want to get this mixed up this time. Actually, first, if you don't mind, I'm gonna pull somebody up here for us that can kind of help us with this situation real quick, if you don't mind.
Who you gotta do? Yep.
Hey, Rod, you want to talk about that wreck? Maybe not. Maybe he's not here. Rod.
Yes, I bumped into somebody in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It shot me over to the wall, and then I bounced off the wall and then clipped your right rear.
Yep, I saw it happening. I saw you get loose. I was like, oh my gosh, please don't. And then I think you just barely caught me.
Yeah. When I bumped into the car on the straightaway there, it just shot my car to the right.
That's you bumper grabbed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And luckily, I wasn't put out of the race this time.
Yeah.
But anyways, I pulled you up here so you can help. Because Jack, are you comfortable with questions, or would you rather have these guys do it?
I think I'm going to sit back and let you guys handle it.
Because you two are professionals. So I'll go ahead and pull up our 3rd place finisher, which I believe was the 17, correct?
That is correct. Chuck McClure, P3.
Cool. Yeah, Rod, you want to handle it? I'm doing some behind-the-scenes stuff.
All right, well, I can try that. I didn't get to see much of the race from your guys' view, but Chuck, you had a pretty good race tonight. I see a little bit. I spent most of the time in the back, but tell us a little bit about how your night went and how you ended up there in the 3rd place tonight.
I didn't think I was ever going to get there. Every time I'd get up front, somebody would come out and block us and slow us down. Finally got there, I think, through saving some fuel and staying out that last time, and got lucky. Actually got 3rd place, I think.
Yeah, a lot of cautions tonight. I'm not really sure what's going on.
The last caution definitely, I think, saved a lot of you guys, because I took a splash with the 2nd to last caution, just trying to get up there, and I was just at the mark, but those extra caution laps helped. So what was the strategy with that? Were you just hoping for another caution, or were you just going to try to run it out?
I think I was going to be good. It was tight. I couldn't have let it. I was following Jeremy. Need to apologize to Jeremy for making that move, but it is the chase, and guy's got to do what he's got to do. And 197, I could come down in front of him earlier in the race and cause a caution, so I feel horrible about that as well.
Yeah, well, how many guys up there would have been able to make it? How many cars stayed out for that? You were one of the ones, Chuck?
I think there was like 14, 15 of them, something like that.
Yeah, so I was kind of curious if any guys were going to run out, but I guess, like you said, Michael, the caution kind of saved him.
Yep, it was a good race for you, Chuck, and give you this time to give yourself some shout-outs and sponsors.
Well, I appreciate you guys at FRN putting these on. It's always fun to watch, and Tim for pushing me and my teammates, Mark and Brian, and Josh for putting this on. And I feel bad for his barber. There's not going to be nothing to do because he's going to be pulling his hair out for all the wrecks for the replay. But
I was waiting to see where that was going to go. That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. There was a lot of cautions, and we're a lot better than this.
I find this happens sometimes because we'll do races and there'll be 0 cautions, and then you'll come here. I think there was 9 for 32 laps tonight or some crazy thing. It was almost half the race under yellow.
Yeah, that's not us. We do things better than that. Also, I want to thank everybody at Marshall County Schools for tuning in and watching.
All right, man. Chuck, great job. See you out there next week.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chuck. Have a good night.
You too.
And who was second?
We got Craig Hagley in the 82 who finished in P2.
Craig. I don't even see him in here.
Is he not in here? Oh, there, he's there.
All right.
He's right there.
I'm blind.
Look harder.
What's up, Craig? Nice second place finish there, man. How was the race in your perspective?
What's going on, guys? That was pretty exciting there at the end.
I was beginning to wonder if the pace car was going to lead the most laps tonight. How about you, Craig?
Well, I've definitely seen enough of this car, but
Are you one of the ones that stayed out? I apologize because I was in the race with you guys, but were you the ones that stayed out to see if you could make it on fuel, or did you pit on that last pit stop and go out, come out knowing you could make it?
nah, I wasn't gonna chance it. I made sure that I was 3 laps to the good.
Oh, very good. Michael?
I was out there with you too, leading some laps and everything. That race was definitely chaotic. Do you think, in your opinion, that this race is the way it was tonight, most specifically because it was the first race of the playoff system? Everyone's just jockeying for position, trying to get laps, lead, and points and everything?
It was just all stacked up and stacked up all night and nowhere to go. Made it hard to go, and
Get that well?
you just never knew what line was going to go somewhere, and then the next time it would start going, here come out another caution.
Yeah, it was definitely one like that. Hopefully the next race will be good, but I will give you this time, hand the microphone over to you for a little bit of thank you, sponsors, and shout-outs.
I want to shout out to Ken Roberts. Congratulations, buddy. And wouldn't have been up there without him, and Kelly and Palmer, Rodney, Dennis, all the teammates. Rawson, I wish you'd have made it through the race, buddy. But thanks to all y'all for everything you do, doing the broadcast, and everybody at the RTG team for all the hard work that they put in. Great way to start out the chase.
Thank you, Craig. Nice, good second place finish, man. I'll see you out there next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
Congrats, buddy.
Congratulations, Craig. And now we bring up our race winner in the 55, Ken Roberts.
Hey, Ken, what's up? You got us up here in the booth?
I do, 10-4.
Partying down there in victory lane, man. That's a great win, man. Great way to start the chase. Walk us through those last few laps.
It kind of started really with about, I guess there was about five or six laps to go, and we got up on the high line. Me, Craig, and Kazi, and that line just rolling. And then there was a caution, and I nipped Chuck there back at the line, so got that the first starting spot. And when we restarted there with 2 or 3 laps to go, I just told the guys, I'm gonna stay on the bottom. I kind of figured there'd be a third line start, and I'm not sure if it did or not, but we just stayed on the bottom and got the win out of it. But that was all my teammates. I was just steering the spears, all I was doing.
You were caught some stuff early on too. Like a lot of you guys, and here you guys voted on this to start in the back, right? In the first 5 laps, we had 2 yellows. I'm like, oh man, all the leaders going into the playoffs start at the back, and now we're having a couple of wrecks. It's like we were kind of worried it was going to put most of you guys out, but you all find your way back up the front pretty much.
Yeah, it was an up and down night. I got up towards the top, and then I think I had an incident with Graham come across his nose there, and I went in and served, got in the back, so yeah, it's kind of back and forth all night, and it's already challenging enough here to try to win. So now they add that extra layer. It's like, oh, all you guys in the playoffs, you guys get in the back and see what you can do. So it's a big challenge, and so you just got to be patient and we had a lot of cautions here tonight, which is not, that's not normal at all. But, a lot of those cautions, worked into my favor with pit stops and strategy and, and all that stuff. So it did work out for me, but, so we'll take the win and we'll move on to next week.
The other downside to where you guys are pitting is not a lot of drivers like that first, 6 pit stops and all. So you guys are all put back there. I had mentioned earlier before that, I said, hey, look at the bright side of it. None of us are going to be, we'll be 16 from the very first pit stall back there. So it makes it even hard. One more element to it when you guys have to not only start back there, but you're going to pit right there at the beginning of the pit road.
Oh, I spent the whole happy hour practicing pit stop.
I never thought of that. Yeah, because now you're stuck in those first 5 spots. You're cooked.
Yeah, I was 4.
I didn't want any green flag pit stops.
I was 4 in. I was 39th. So, and that's just it was just so odd. So I don't know how them guys do it. They start in the back and want to start in the back. They got some screws loose or something. But
because your speed line has to happen before the actual line because you've got to stop right away almost, right? You're not hitting that line at 55. You're almost parked.
Yeah, I could hit the line at 55, but I mean it was really hard onto the brakes to get in and get under control and get a good stop. But it was I hadn't done that in a while, so that was interesting.
Did you guys vote on that, or is that part of the because I know RTG, there's a lot of votes that go on every year. Like, okay, what track are we running? What mod are we running? How many laps are we running? And how's the playoff format going to be? Is that the leaders to the back? Was that a votable thing? Was that the driver's decision, or how did that come about?
I don't know if it was. I don't know whose decision it was. I think last year or last season, the guys that were the 4 that were left. Voted amongst themselves to start in the back, and they really liked the idea.
Okay.
And so I think they just moved it on to this, this season that they're going to put all the playoff guys in the back, which is it's I love it. I mean, I know a lot of guys aren't going to like it, but it's I love it. It's a challenge, and I think that should be part of it. Is when you're as a driver is to be challenged to those kind of things.
Plus, you got 5 race season for the championship. The 16 drivers will never move away from that either, because you guys are going like a mini championship with just the 16 of you. So, you guys will always be back there.
It's 18 actually. 18 made it in. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. So
there's a couple extra ones.
Cool.
Yeah,
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
2 made it in on wins, I think. So there's 18 of us. So yeah, so I'm, we'll see how it goes, but I mean, I thought it was pretty cool, really. So it's interesting, makes it more of a challenge, like I said.
That's why they call it the Talladega Challenge, right? And then you got to get those lap 33 bonus points too. Do all that and go.
It's a challenge in more ways than one, to say the least.
Yeah, they keep adding challenges. That's the point, right?
Gotta call it the Talladega Challenges.
Yeah. By now it's plural for sure.
Yeah, probably 2 seasons from now we'll have ramps out here. We'll be ramping each other.
You'll be required.
You do like a Tony
Championship. The championship will just be last to survive.
Like Tony Stewart said, we go run the first half the one way, and then we'll run the second half the second way, and then we'll turn half the field to go forward, half the field to go the other way.
Makes it
that's kind of how my night was anyway. It was to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. So I got a good view.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on the win. Sorry, who was that you, Michael?
That was me.
Go ahead.
I was just about to tell him, we'll turn a mic over to him for his thank you sponsors and shout outs.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and obviously I'll be up watching this one tonight for sure. Like to thank my teammates. Like I said earlier, I was just steering the spear. The guys were behind me. We got that third line rolling. Craig and Kelly and Palmer. I can't thank them guys enough. This wins just as much as theirs. Thank all the admins here. Josh and Tim and Rodney, they had their hands full tonight. Josh was having some problems, some connection issues and stuff. And, he's keeps it cool, but, thank those guys. And, thank Chuck and Craig for their second, third place finishes. So we're off and running on the playoffs, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Ken. Congratulations, man.
Oh, I wanted to say howdy to Mr. Solins. I know I'm his number 2 fan.
Perfect. He's out there somewhere. I know he is.
Yeah, and Rodney for painting my cars, man. The guy's amazing. Does amazing work, and I'm glad to get one of my favorites. The Mountain Dew's my favorite paint schemes, have been forever, and so I was able to get this one up in Victory Lane. So that's pretty cool for him.
It is a gorgeous looking paint scheme. Well, congratulations, Ken, on the win tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Dak.
Good job, bud.
All right, thanks, Rod. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Ken. Good night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael and Rod.
You guys could have jumped in and did a little bit of intermission boarding.
Shy.
Yeah, I would have. You could have jumped in my car and talked to me a little bit. It wouldn't have bothered me. Not on the green, but under the cautions. I'm glad
They don't have power. I think Blaine's the only one that might have power to move people. But
I think so. Yeah. And I mean, we'll only talk to drivers under yellow, so there was no chance to do that tonight.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Was I think the final count, it says 10 yellows for 29 laps.
Yeah, I've raced here this whole season. This is the first time I've run here, and I've never seen them have a race like this. I mean, we've had a few cautions, maybe a couple of one after the other, but never like tonight. So it was pretty crazy.
Usually there's 3 or 4, never like this. I mean, it can't say never. It does happen.
To be fair, I'm happy because it just means I didn't have to make any green flag pit stops with the very, very, very first pit stop.
Oof. Yeah.
Michael, where'd you end up finishing?
29th, I believe.
Yep.
29th.
But we'll see. We'll see if there's any penalties coming from people in front of me.
Yeah, I was going to say the updated points right now are up on the website. Joe DeSpirito, as things stand right now, is still the points leader. Tim Nofsker is currently P2. You got Grant Wesley 3rd. Ken Roberts jumps up to 4th. Craig Hagley 5th. Ulysses Sandoval in 6th. Michael, you're now 7th.
It's not bad. I only lost 1 spot.
Josh Metallic is 8th. Chuck McClure 9th. Kelly Causey 10th. Got Rodney Solins 11th. Mark Paglia 12th. Jeremy Jeffries 13th. Bob Seminara 14th. Greg Palmer 15th. Brian Schilling 16th. Greg Lovell 17th. And Denny Carroll in 18th. So that's how the playoff drivers stack up unofficially, of course. As Seth said last week, it's not really official until they take the green flag next week.
Yep.
I was going to give Michael a hard time, though, because I was going to push him, and then he abandoned me, went to the bottom, and then I ended up still finishing ahead of him. So I'm happy.
That was a call that was the wrong one.
Smart.
When you see 3 wide, your instinct is to go to the bottom because the middle lane is going to die and the inside lane will eventually get going. That's why I had to lead that one caution when we were racing 3 wide. I saw it and I turned immediately low under Jeffrey Elliott. I was like, let's just do this. But yeah, that was fun.
I like how Rod was going to push a flat-out racing network guy. You're Tarnation TV, bro. What's going on?
He wrecked me once.
Yeah, exactly. I remember, a couple weeks ago, he bounced off you a couple times. You guys were crashing into each other.
Going through your head, Rod, when you turned back down the track after hitting the wall and you saw me, you were like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no!" Whack, and I'm like, darn it.
Yeah, of all the guys, right? I got him
a couple weeks back. I got him. This Talladega thing is kind of new to me, and I'm trying different things, and we're trying a different view and all that stuff. And I noticed that when you come into pit road, it's like you come off the track, it keeps trying to push you back to the track, and then when you finally it decides, okay, we're going to pit road, it pulls you to the left a little bit too quick. So before I really caught that, I did that. He did that, got a little loose, and I went over it, and I slapped right into him. He was in the middle of his pit stop, and it just wrecked his car. And it just sucked.
Yeah, because of the steering assist, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you hit the car, he's pitting, so of course no damage, and then once they drop the car, all the damage showed up.
Once you do that, it's almost as bad as T-boning somebody on the track. And
because that car will not move. It's like running into a wall.
Yep, and then it does a lot of damage to the guy that you hit. So,
Wow. Well, it was an eventful race to say the least, and like you said, like Ken was saying, he got lucky. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody out there had to race it. The race, that there was a lot of yellows, but you found your way to the front, and Ken, Hagley, and McClure, your podium. So there it is. And yeah, come and join us here next week, Thursday, of course, to see, like you said, this is unofficial.
All of the usual people should be back.
Yeah.
Yep. By that point, one last shout out to Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, all the boys that are currently watching this race. They probably, when I wrap this thing up, they probably want me to go and eat a quesadilla. So that's probably what I'm going to do.
No, I want you to do a quesadilla because after this broadcast, you're fired. I'm kidding.
So Jack, you didn't get the invite to go with them?
I probably, it probably would have been open to me if I wanted to go, but I
Jack's
cannot
too much of a 5-letter word that rhymes with itch to leave his state to go on vacation.
I see how it is.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jack, for joining me in here tonight. It's definitely that was definitely a lot of fun.
Absolutely, it was. Pleasure to be here, and I hope that I can do what I did last season, tag along for the finale. As of right now, I don't think I'm supposed to be in any more races until then, but I'll have to talk to Seth and see if we can make that work. But yeah, no, that was really fun, and hope we can do it again soon.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'll I guess we'll just wrap this up. We're in a 2-hour and 15-minute broadcast now, so we'll thank, of course, RTG for having us. We'll thank everybody on YouTube for watching us. We'll thank all the drivers for racing most of the race. Thank the pace car driver for consistently driving 70 miles an hour for 29 laps. We're just going to keep chirping it, because the best part about this is next week that we'll probably have no yellows, or maybe one.
Caution free the whole time.
It happens every time. It's like everything sort of builds up, and then we'll have that one race. It's just weird, like we watched tonight, and then the next week it'll be amazing. So yeah, definitely stay tuned there. And as always, yeah, that's it. Thanks, Jack. Thanks everybody else. And of course, thank you to the anonymous donor who's paid for season 67 and 68. That's super awesome. So as always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.